Deep beneath the frozen Russian seas, a U.S. submarine captain discovers a plot to start World War III. When the Russian president is kidnapped in a secret coup, he must join forces with enemy soldiers to stop an all-out global war. Torpedoes fly, alliances break, and every second could be humanity's last. This is Hunter Killer Movie, 2018. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. In the icy depths of the Barents Sea, Russia, beneath endless glaciers, a Russian Akula-class nuclear attack submarine, Konik, was on a routine patrol. But right behind it, unseen and unheard, an American Los Angeles-class sub, USS Tampa Bay, was tailing close behind. The U.S. crew mocked their Russian counterparts, certain they hadn't been detected, until a sudden, violent explosion rocked the water. Moments later, Tampa Bay's W-2210S radar lit up. A 533mm torpedo was streaking directly over their heads. When the Pentagon got word of the incident, chaos broke out. To uncover the truth and avoid triggering a full-scale war, the U.S. Navy immediately dispatched the USS Virginia and USS Arkansas attack subs, along with a CV-class support sub, under the command of Captain Joe Glass, to investigate the mysterious destruction in the Arctic. At the same time, 4 Navy SEALs were dropped from 10,000 meters above sea level, a high-altitude, high-opening parachute jump, silently infiltrating the Russian Polyarny naval base for reconnaissance. Upon reaching the wreck site, the Arkansas deployed a Remus 600 underwater drone to scan the remains of the Tampa Bay. All 110 American sailors aboard were confirmed dead. The massive hull breach left no doubt they'd been hit by a torpedo. For the inexperienced crew aboard the Arkansas, this realization sent chills down their spines. Captain Glass immediately ordered battle stations. And sure enough, a Russian Akula-class submarine, Volkov, was already waiting beneath the ice, an ambush perfectly set. Without hesitation, Volkov fired 2 533mm torpedoes straight toward the Arkansas. Reacting instantly, Glass ordered 2 counter-torpedoes launched, decoys designed to mimic the acoustic signature of a submarine and lure enemy torpedoes off course. Using this narrow window, Glass retaliated with 2 -48 Malawian Quachas-Adcap torpedoes, but Volkov, masked by ocean noise, dodged the attack. The American torpedoes looped back under manual control, scanning for their target once again. Finally, one locked on the Russian sub hiding in an ice fissure, but before it could strike, the torpedo fired earlier by Volkov broke free of its decoy and locked onto Arkansas once more. Glass immediately ordered an emergency dive, pushing the submarine full speed toward the wreck of the Tampa Bay. As the torpedo closed in, the crew's faces tightened with fear. It was seconds away from impact. At the very last moment, Arkansas scraped past the sunken Tampa Bay, and the incoming torpedo exploded harmlessly in the debris field. The crew barely survived, but the question remained, why had the Russians attacked? Would they really risk starting a world war? Then came a distress signal from the Russian sub Konik, the one destroyed at the start. Its damage told a shocking story. The explosion had come from inside the vessel, not an enemy attack. Glass ordered a rescue mission. 3 survivors were recovered, the Russian captain and 2 sonar operators. Meanwhile, both the U.S. and Russian navies went on high alert. Carrier strike groups from both nations raced toward the Arctic, each fleet ready for war. As tensions spiked, the SEAL team deep inside Russia made a chilling discovery. The Russian defense minister, codenamed Hunter, had staged a coup. Angry at the president's weakness, Hunter had the Russian leader imprisoned and shot his personal bodyguard on the spot. He then destroyed his own submarine and blamed the U.S., hoping to ignite a global conflict and seize total power. To stop all-out war, the U.S. president ordered the carrier strike group to maintain combat readiness, but not attack unless provoked. At the same time, the SEAL team was tasked with rescuing the Russian president, while Captain Glass and the Arkansas had to infiltrate Russian waters to extract them. Both superpowers' fleets now faced each other under the Arctic sky, fighters ready to launch, missiles armed, the world on the edge of destruction. As the SEAL team approached the command bunker, they unexpectedly rescued the president's bodyguard, still alive after being thrown into the sea during the coup. When he learned their mission, he immediately joined the rescue. Using his insider knowledge, the team climbed directly to the room where the president was held. 3 unsuspecting guards dropped instantly as suppressed gunfire cut through the air. The SEALs set up a defensive line inside the room, while one member planted plastic explosives on the cell door. The explosion echoed through the entire base, alerting every guard within earshot. A fierce shootout erupted, M4A1 carbines blazing as the SEALs held their ground. Russian troops countered with crossfire from both sides of the hallway, pinning the SEALs down. One SEAL was hit in the arm, but the mission had to go on. The bodyguard grabbed a 7.62mm AK-103 rifle, covering the team with precise bursts of fire. Time was running out. They couldn't afford to get cornered. With a quick side roll and perfect aim, the bodyguard cleared the path. The SEALs grabbed the Russian president and made their escape, while the bodyguard stayed behind to hold off the attackers. His sacrifice bought them the time they needed to get the president out alive and stop a war before it began. To buy time for the others to escape, the bodyguard stayed behind, but before he could react, a Russian guard suddenly appeared and opened fire, riddled with bullets. The bodyguard still managed to slam the door shut, blocking the pursuers long enough for the SEALs to regroup. When the enemy finally blasted their way inside, the explosion's shockwave threw one SEAL clean off his feet, and the incoming gunfire hit another. Under heavy pressure, the surviving SEALs fought their way to the riverbank. One wounded comrade, too injured to continue, made the ultimate sacrifice. The remaining men grabbed the Russian president and jumped into the river, heading for the extraction point where the USS Arkansas awaited. Meanwhile, deep under Russian waters, the Arkansas had already infiltrated the inner sea, deploying a rescue sub to pick up the team. Earlier, the rescued Russian submarine captain, torn between duty and conscience, decided to help the Americans navigate through a deadly minefield to reach the naval base and rescue his president. As the SEALs and the president crossed the river, Russian troops caught up. A hail of gunfire rained down near a dam, pinned down with nowhere to go. Hope seemed lost, until a single rifle shot echoed through the chaos. It was the SEAL sniper, the one thought to be dead. Despite his wounded leg, he covered the team with his tracking point smart sniper rifle. A weapon so advanced it was practically an aimbot in real life, complete with onboard computer guidance, digital tagging, and autolock triggers. He picked off enemies one by one. The other SEALs joined in, firing M4A1 rifles and launching 40mm grenades from M203 launchers, obliterating the enemy vehicles in a blaze of fire. Collision, the survivors slid down the dam, escaping the kill zone, but the sniper, unable to move, stayed behind, awaiting rescue. The rest of the team reached the dock, where a mini-sub surfaced right on time. As they boarded with the Russian president, cover fire erupted. The rear guard SEAL was hit and went down, sacrificing himself to ensure the mission's success. After securing the president aboard the sub, Captain Glass ordered a return to rescue the stranded sniper. But trouble was far from over. A massive Russian destroyer, Admiral Yevchenko, a Yudoloy-class anti-submarine ship, was now hunting the Arkansas. It unleashed 12 RBU 6000 depth rockets into the water, each one exploding violently around the American sub. The blast shook the hull. Alarms blaring everywhere, water pouring through cracks, yet, miraculously, none of the warheads scored a direct hit. Moments later, Yevchenko locked on again, firing two 533mm torpedoes from its SSN-14 launchers. The Arkansas countered with its own decoys and evasive maneuvers. Then the sub sonar picked up the Russian ship's coordinates. Glass ordered in -48 Malawi and Kwachazadkap torpedo locked and ready, but after exchanging a glance with the rescued Russian captain, he hesitated and called off the shot. Seconds later, one torpedo hit the seabed nearby, and another streaked straight toward them. Glass ordered an emergency dive, hugging the ocean floor, narrowly avoiding impact. Back at the Pentagon, it was chaos. They believed the Arkansas had been destroyed, and with the Russian president supposedly kidnapped by America, a full-blown world war seemed inevitable. US and Russian fleets mobilized, carrier groups, destroyers, and submarines all converging in the Arctic. An unprecedented modern war was seconds from breaking out. Meanwhile, the injured SEAL sniper was captured by Russian forces. Bleeding out and cornered, he was moments from execution. Underwater, the Arkansas, heavily damaged but still afloat, was at the mercy of Yevchenko. Then, in a twist of fate, the rescued Russian president and the Akula captain hailed Yevchenko's bridge, revealing Defense Minister Hunter's treachery. Shocked by the truth, the Yevchenko's captain ignored Hunter's orders and ceased fire, allowing the Arkansas to surface beside them. For the first time in history, an American nuclear sub and a Russian warship floated side by side, not as enemies, but as allies. But Hunter wasn't done. Knowing his plan was collapsing, he ordered the launch of missiles from the coastal defense base. U.S. satellites caught the launch instantly. The American Defense Secretary authorized the Arkansas to retaliate with Tomahawk missiles, but firing them from inside Russian waters would trigger Russia's nuclear defense system. The world held its breath. One wrong move, and it was over. Glass ordered the Tomahawk launch window opened, ready to strike if necessary. At that same moment, multiple Russian Kh-35 anti-ship missiles streaked toward the Arkansas. Tension filled the control room, but Glass stayed calm. The Russian destroyer's close-in weapon system, a 30mm twin rotary cannon with 10,000 rounds per minute, lit up the sky, intercepting every missile in a blazing storm of fire. Then, Yevchenko fired 2 more missiles, but not at the Americans. They soared toward the coastal base, straight into Hunter's command center. Realizing his fate, Hunter could only watch as the missiles closed in. He glass had gambled everything, trusting the Russians to do the right thing. And it worked. The missiles hit their mark. Hunter's coup was over. And the world was saved from the brink of war. The movie ends here. Thanks for your watching. Leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on the notification and leave a like to help the channel out.